guys. Welcome back to the Relax into Love podcast. We are into February. It is the week before Valentine's Day. I wasn't going to talk about Valentine's Day, but I might as well just make a quick little message about it since it's such a big thing. I feel like the Hallmark movies and Hallmark cards and stores. I mean, you can't even walk into a grocery store these days without seeing some sort of teddy bear holding some heart and candies and chocolates being shoved in your face. It's really getting a little out of control, I gotta say. So for all of you here that are going through another Valentine's Day, maybe alone or maybe with a relationship that is not meeting you where you want to be, I hear you, I see you, I feel you, my love, and just as best you can, try to just say F it. Just say F it. Because at the end of the day, I will say, even being in partnership, I was talking to my husband, I was like, I don't even want to celebrate Valentine's Day this year. And I don't want you to get mad at me for saying that. I really do want to just say that it's such a made up holiday and it can be a wonderful holiday. It can be an honoring of love and it can be a really great chance to remind ourselves of all the beauty and the love of the world. We can make whatever meaning we want it to be, but it doesn't have to be. And I want to just give you permission today. Wow, I was not planning on going here on this conversation, but I just want to give you permission today that if you're not feeling Valentine's Day this year, just don't do it. Just don't buy into it. Just let it be what it is. Laugh it off as a Hallmark way to make money and move on with your life. Because yeah, even for me, being happily married in a partnership, I'm not expecting a bunch of stuff. And I don't actually want a bunch of stuff. And here's why. I don't ever want to feel like my husband is going through the motions to be with me, right? I don't ever want to feel like he has to buy me flowers. And we were talking about this. He has to buy me flowers and chocolates and write me a card because it's Valentine's Day. To me, that is like ick because it's not real. Like in a sense, it's real because he's doing it and it's nice and it makes me happy, I guess. But if it's not, like he was even saying, he's like, yeah, wouldn't you much rather me just on a random Tuesday come home and surprise you with a bouquet of flowers and say, hey, babe, I've just been thinking about you and I just love you so much. And here's a bouquet of flowers. Like that to me makes so much more of a difference than some random arbitrary holiday that's been programmed into us that we have to do these things and we have to feel these ways. And I think that's honestly why so many people get so frustrated with Valentine's Day. So I know it may be funny that a love coach is talking about this, but I'm going to say, let's not do Valentine's Day this year. Or let's just keep it easy. Let's not make it a big deal. Or if you are single or in a relationship that's not fulfilling you, why don't we make it about something else? Why don't we make it about, instead of what you may not be getting within yourself, why don't we make it about what we can give to others and the love that we can give to others, even if that's a child or a friend or a grandparent or a parent or someone on the street that just seems like they're down on their luck. Like, why does it always have to be connected to partnership, right? Let's really just make this about a day of celebrating the fact that love exists. And I will say that, yes, love is the ultimate, but it doesn't have to be so contrived as I feel like our society has made it to be. Okay, I will get off my little soapbox on that right now. And I'm going to give you a couple personal updates. And then I want to talk about today's topic, which is being the prize. Being the prize. We are the gift. We are the prize. I had this question come up this week inside of my communities, and it was such a great conversation. And I realized, I want to talk more about this because it's such an important thing. It's such an important thing. And the question was, Teal, why are we the prize? You talk about this a lot. You say that we're the prize. Why are we the prize? And I was kind of taken aback by it. But then I thought, yeah, wow, you're right. We have been so conditioned and put down in our world that we've forgotten that we are the prize. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I think it's going to be a great reminder to all of us, a very self-empowering message, especially around the conversation of Valentine's Day, to come back home to, fuck yeah, we are incredible beings as women just for being alive. So that's a conversation for today. But wanted to give you a quick update. My sweet little boy just turned 3 years old on Sunday. I can't believe how fast it's growing. It's insane. And we flew to California. I took a week off. and had a little vacation at the beach in Santa Barbara. Had this beautiful little beach bungalow that I manifested right like 3 blocks from the beach, and just soaked up the sun in the middle of February, and had him a little fireman birthday party with all the grandparents and all the aunts and uncles. And it was just such a fun time. And I'm just really, really soaking in this season and chapter of life. And having kids adds a whole nother complexity to the world and to my life, but I would not trade it for the world. It has grown me so beautifully, and I feel like it gives me even more depth and even more richness to coach and to be all that I am. So yeah, just feeling really, really fulfilled and happy and in a really grounded space today, as we are now back home and just grounding back into life. I'm sitting out on my patio here in Washington and looking out at the beautiful mountains and listening to the rivers, and just, yeah, I'm really, really at peace with life right now. So let's talk about this question of, why are we the prize? What makes us the gift to men and to relationships? And why is it so important to remember this? When I'm coaching, so often what I end up hearing is women feeling like they have been, up until now, they have been sacrificing themselves or pieces of what they desire and what they want to keep the relationship going, or to not rock the boat, or not scare men away. And so they hold back in saying what's on their heart, or they feel uncomfortable sharing their truths, or they feel like if they really ask for what they want in a relationship, or want this person to be different, then they're going to freak this guy out and they're going to run away and they're going to be lonely and alone. And what ends up happening with that is that we end up sacrificing who we are for the relationship whole. And that, we know, is a slippery slope. That does not get us in a good place. And then we wake up 1, 3, 5 years down the road with so much resentment and so much bitterness and anger and pushed down feelings, that we just become so disconnected from our partner that things really fall apart, or they're very hard to get back on track. Or we just lose who we are. We forget that we had passions of this or that, or that we actually wanted that, or we start to buy into the idea that that's not really possible or realistic. Let me know if you feel any of these ways. And so from that place, we end up just being in a mediocre relationship. And so a lot of times what I end up saying to women is, we have to get back to remembering that we are the prize. And that if men are not willing and wanting to step up and meet us in our desires and our needs, and caveat side note, then let me finish that thought. Then they're not the man for us, and we have to walk away, and we have to let that be okay. And we need to stand in honoring what we want and what we need. And caveat to this side note is, I'm talking about general basic needs, right? I'm not talking about crazy high maintenance, divas here of, I want you to buy me a Corvette, and I want you to fly me here, and I want you to treat me like a princess, and like, it's my way or the highway. I'm not talking about like over the top. I'm just talking about basic human needs. And this is the craziest part, is when I really start asking women, like, what is it that you really want out of a relationship? What do you really want from a dream partnership? The things that they're wanting are not anything crazy. It's, I want someone that I can trust. I want someone that is in integrity with their words and follows through on their actions. I want someone that is emotionally mature and can hold a deep-hearted conversation. These kinds of things. I want someone that when I ask them hard questions, they don't shut down, but that they can meet me there in hard conflict and actually move through conflict with me, right? Like, these are the kinds of things that we have to be holding ourselves to, these values with men and with relationships. And we need to make sure that we're in a place of standing in our truth. And when we're not doing, I think I said that a little bit last time on our last episode about, are you being too picky or too accommodating? But going along with that is actually having the confidence to believe that you're worth it, right? That you're worth standing up for, and that you're worth actually having desires and needs on your heart. And if there's any part of you that's been feeling like that's not okay, or that feels uncomfortable to even feel like you can communicate what you want and what you need, then that's where we start. We come back into asking ourselves, why is it that we are the prize, the gift. Why would men actually want to be with us? Why is it worth for us to stand up and say, hey, you need to support me. You need to honor me. You need to be giving back to me because I am the prize here. And the answer to this is we inherently are such a beautiful gift to men. There's there's many, many reasons why men naturally are very drawn to women. Of course, there's the surface level, like beautiful, I just want to think with my dick and, have sex with you. There's that, but that is such a small factor of it. And I feel like that gets overemphasized over everything else. There is the physical attraction piece, but there is also so much of a depth that we as women hold. I want to talk about all the different pieces because this is not talked about enough. We are naturally heart-centered beings as feminine women. And I am generalizing here, but when we're really tapped into that divine feminine essence, we have the ability to really connect into our feelings and our emotions in a way that men are not as comfortable doing. And so when we're able to hold space with our energy, we make a man feel safe. We help him come back home into his heart. And all a man wants to do at the end of the day is to he wants to go out into the world. He wants to fight his dragons and go be his bachelor self and, be out there in the world shooting shit with the guys. But he wants to come home to his woman and he wants to be able to drop in and drop out of his head and into his heart and just be held and seen and felt and witnessed. And that is such a superpower that we, I think, do not give ourselves enough credit for, is just being a home base, an anchor, a heart-based anchor home base for men to feel like they can really relax and feel safe and feel emotionally held. They may not feel fully comfortable being able to do that for you yet, but when you can start to model that you can do that for them, they naturally drop into that place and they start being able to emulate that back to you. And it is such a beautiful gift that we get to give them, that they may not even know this on a mental level, they deeply are looking for that in partnership. And when they're young and they're little boys, they get that from their mother, hopefully. They get that from their mother, but once they grow up, they don't have any presence of that in their life. And so they're naturally looking to a woman to be able to feel like they have a home base for their heart. And this is a gift in and of itself, is just the fact of you being able to be there in a nurturing, sweet, kind, loving, soft way that says, come here, my baby. Come put your head on my lap. Let me just pet you. And you just tell me everything that's on your mind and on your heart. I can't tell you how much that makes men melt and relax and feel so bonded and connected. Another way that we really, really are the prize and the gift is that naturally, we are literally we are a connection to the divine. We are a vessel and a connection for men to the divine. Not only do we birth life, we literally are the vessel of life. We also help men connect to God, to the universe through us. It is such a powerful portal. Like, think about your body as literally being a portal to the divine. We are so connected intimately into our intuition that we have almost this superpower, this magic quality of being able to feel so intimately aligned with our angels, with that God essence, with that intuitive side of ourselves where we just have this knowing, we just have this understanding, we can feel things, we can be more empathetic about things that men just oftentimes are completely disconnected to. And so they see women and they go, wow, like you are truly like a magical being. I don't quite get you. I don't quite understand you, but just being in your energy, I just feel like I'm connecting to magic. I have literally had my husband tell me this, like, through you, I feel connected to the divine. Wow. Through you, I feel like I am connecting to God. What a compliment, right? But it's true. It is really true. Like we are the vessel and the portal to the infinite, to the oneness of all, to the all connected energy of love. We help men not only just get out of their heads and into their hearts, but into their soul, out of their bodies and into their soul. This is such a gift. when men can really see you not just as an item to fuck, but as the portal to the infinite, as the ultimate goddess that you are, that is when they really start to just absolutely worship you as the goddess that you are. And we have to make sure that we as women are holding this energy in ourselves and this understanding and this knowing in ourselves first. So if we're not holding this knowledge in ourselves, how do we expect a man to treat us this way? Right? This is the biggest thing about this is we have to understand, we have to fully embody and integrate into this knowing that I am the prize, I am the muse, I am the goddess, I am the portal to the infinite, I am the creatrix. I literally birth life. I birth ideas. I birth magic through me, through my essence, through my soul, through my creativity in my mind, through my passion, through my personality. There is so much beauty that we inspire and activate in men. Not only that, then we get into just our personality in itself, right? The sassiness, the playfulness, the passion, the drive, the ambition. This activates men. It inspires men. It makes men feel like, wow, she's going places. I want to be alongside of that. It makes them feel excited and activated and amplified. And then on top of that, we get to cheer them on. We get to make them feel like more like a man. And this is another big piece of it is there's such a piece of us that men naturally are drawn to wanting to feel like a man. And the way that they feel like a man is by providing. It's innately part of them. They have to feel like they can provide to feel more like a man. It's just built into their DNA. And so part of being in partnership for them is to feel like, oh, I get to take care of my woman. I get to make her happy. And as he makes you happy, he feels better. He feels like he is truly living his purpose of being a man. And I watch this happen, even in my own relationship, as my man does things. Like even the other day I was giggling because he literally moved me off of the road and onto the sidewalk, and he changed places with me and walked on the road to protect me. And I could see it in his heart as he just puffed up his chest and just felt so proud to feel like I'm protecting my woman from the cars. I'm being a man, right? And it gives them that feeling of satisfaction and purpose. This is the gift. Literally, by just being us, we are giving them the gift of being more of a man and feeling more empowered in themselves. And then we get to honor that and cherish that and worship and adore them for that and hold them in that highest potential and that highest vision of themselves and who they get to continue to be. And that makes them just continue to grow and evolve into their highest self, which then makes them feel better in themselves. So there's so many aspects of us just being alive, just being us, just being the beautiful, connected, feminine energy version of us that is such a gift in our presence to men, to the right men, to the men who are ready, who are emotionally and physically and willing to want to be in a partnership. It is such a gift. And the biggest way that we actually take that gift away is by being in our masculine and saying, I got it. I'm fine. I don't need you. I don't need anything. I don't have any needs. I don't need you to take care of me. When we do that, or suggesting or controlling or trying to push or trying to do too much for them, we take away their own feeling of being able to provide for us and take care of us and be the man for us. And so we need to make sure that we are really checking ourselves in every moment and not emasculating them in our presence by trying to be too much like a man. And this is where I see so many women really messing up and sabotaging potentially really beautiful dynamics, is that in trying to help and in our minds trying to think that we're doing things the right way by suggesting or politely, helping them, or who knows, maybe even giving them some money or helping them, write their job application or book their doctor's appointments or whatever it is, or driving them places. We are unintentionally taking away the gift that they want to give to us and they want to receive from us, which is us just truly being in that clicked in divine feminine presence, that relaxed, nurturing, receiving energy that is connected to the divine. So my invitation to you right now is to really ask yourself, where have you been overfunctioning, overdoing it, and maybe emasculating the men in your life? And how can you begin to lean back and click back into that feminine energy within you? And what does it mean to you to be the prize? What do you feel in your truest self is such a gift that you give to not just men, but to everyone in your life? Through your personality, through your passions, through your energy, through your unique version of what your essence brings to the world. How is that a gift? And can you start really bringing that forefront as you start interacting with more people, as you start coming back home into your interactions with maybe your husband or your partner or someone you're dating, so that they can begin to really see that and feel that in you too? Because they're not necessarily going to just wake up to that realization by themselves unless you are already emulating that belief and that knowing. And so it starts with you on the internal first, believing that knowing. And from there, watch as the world begins to treat you that way. It is absolutely incredible. That'll do it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. I want to remind all of you that if you have not yet signed up for some of my beautiful free gifts, this is a wonderful time to do that. I have so many different amazing, yummy goodies on my website, so go ahead and check it out. I have a free training called Inspire His Commitment, which is incredible, and I think you will love it. I have a beautiful 8 Principles to Become Magnetic to Men guidebook that is super fun and really, really impactful to help you just drop back into that feminine energy. I've got guided meditations. I've got pre-date pep talks to get you pepped up and on your way in the most confident way before you go out on dates. And I have so many amazing, beautiful little online courses and books for you to check out. So head on over to my website, send me a message if you want as well, and say hi. I would love to connect with you. And until next week, ta-ta for now. Mwah.